Hey everybody, hello and welcome back to Massively Overpowered Television, where we take our D&D night and make it a D&D afternoon on Friday, because come on, who doesn't want a weekend of Dungeons and Dragons? And today, I don't know, some part of today, we are back in Neverwinter with a very, very special stream for you guys. And I mean that because we have a very special guest with us. Welcome to our stream.
Hey, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Excited to be here.
Yes, do you want to introduce who you are? Because right now they're just hearing a voice.
Oh, yeah, sorry, absolutely, of course. Where are my manners? Hello, my name is Noah Holmes. I'm a senior game designer at Cryptic Studios. I'm one of the content designers that works on Neverwinter. I've been with the studio for about 3 years.
Awesome, 3 years. And you've been in the industry for quite a while. And, oh, there we go, finally popped up. Woo! Always scares me when the game doesn't show for a second. And, hey everybody, this is just about a first here. We have somebody on camera. No, that's not me, okay? You might be able to tell by how the lips are moving, but that's not MJ. That is Noah. And we have also the other special part, not quite as special as having a dev, but the other special part is a giveaway today. Now, right on our post is the giveaway for the grand prize. We're not giving that away on stream. That involves mailing and stuff. So that's all going on the post. Let me make sure I give you all the, I'll give you the post info so y'all can go look at it. Oh, it might still actually be on my copy and paste. Oh, yeah, there we go. Look at that. So it's actually really cool. The Echoes of Prophecy is what we're celebrating right now. Although MJ is not going to be able to show it because all my viewers know that MJ got kicked out of gaming for 4 months. So she's like just behind the times and everything.
That's crazy. That's amazing.
So you can't just look at it. You have to do the first 2 before you can do the third, but luckily Noah can talk us through all the stuff and what's going on and everything. The grand prize is this big chest you've got an actual in-game chest with physical items, and for the stream I have packs of, let me get this, Yethhound Mount and Yethhound Companion. So we have those to give away. Exciting.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know what a Yethhound looks like, but puppy. Okay, puppy. I'm happy. There will be a puppy involved. It can be a big, vicious, bloodthirsty puppy, and it's still a puppy. All right. Now, the fun part is I was also told that this is not something you can really do with a low-level character, but it's not level gated, so you can try. So you know what I said? Let's try. I was worried about, maybe dying a few times during the stream, and of course, I had to tell him that you all make me use a death counter, so you won't be sad in the least. Then I'll pull in probably my level 20. I just don't want to go too far with her without the regular group, because you all prefer that I use the group Anyway, so, oh look, see, I even got my little Neverwinter pack. I'm wearing my cool little silver, don't remember what it's called, but that gift of the something or other. I'm like, I don't remember what it's called. It was a gift, and I opened it, and I put it on. It looks great. All right, let's just find out what he wants to talk to us about. Oh, yeah.
Need your help. It's good to see you again. Your presence has been requested by Elminster.
Oh,
he
hey,
said he
I'm
had
supposed to go talk to Elminster.
Project for you.
Oh, there you go.
He might be an ally. Watch yourself. He's pretty tricksy, that one.
Oh, you're gonna start talking all smeagly on us, huh? Tricksy. Tricksy little Elminster. Alright. Cool. Well, you said we needed to see Elminster, and we're about to go see Elminster. I have no idea how to play this bard. This is gonna be so fun. I love it.
That's good. If you survived Corbin, I'm sure you're ready for anything I can throw at you. You should know, whenever you're unsure of what to do next, check your journal. Take a look at your adventures with
He's all talking to me like I'm a new player.
I
love it.
Guild offers for your deeds.
What? No, I haven't been playing this game for years. What do you know? You don't know anything.
The Adventurers Guild now. Congratulations!
Yay! Oh, well, good. I needed to do that in order to complete my quest. All right.
I'm sure you're ready for...
Oh, boy,
The
he just
attack
keeps
on
going.
the city wasn't the last we'll see of Valindra. I'm sure of it. I believe she is now working towards some wicked end in Neverdeath Graveyard. A troop of
It's
my
kind of
class
nice
just
starting a new
returned from
character.
there with
One,
reports of
Bard.
red
Bard is
wizards
awesome.
and
Really nice to have
necromantic
Bard come out.
rituals. I need you
But
to
now I get a
venture
chance
into
to
the graveyard
experience
and
the way
speak
the
with
game has
Doom Guide
changed.
Volok. Put a stop to whatever Valindra is plotting.
All right. There we go. So, tell us. Okay, so we have not done any content on stream at all about the battle passes. Or
really?
wait, it's
Okay.
one battle pass with different chapters,
Correct. Different milestones. Yeah,
milestones.
that's correct.
All right, so tell us about this. Tell us about the battle pass, because that's pretty new to Neverwinter 2, isn't it? Just in the past year-ish?
Well, we added it with the Avernus, Descent into Avernus module that released. That was the first time we thought we would go ahead and try that out and give players the option to fast track and save time through some of that content and to get the rewards quickly if they wanted to. So we're sort of branching it out. It's sort of R&D, if you will. We're trying different things to see how it works and how the player base likes it, and if for players who have less time but are comfortable just saying, hey, I'll get a little bit of Zen and fast track through the battle pass. We're trying things out. It's always just an iterative process. But yeah, it's great to give players another way to gain access to cool rewards.
All right, and this is the third one. Now, this is the final chapter, the final milestone of this battle pass?
100% correct, yes. So Of Dragons and Influence is the third milestone and last final milestone that went live on the 1st of December. It comes after the second one, obviously, the Prophetic Retellings. It's a continuation of the story with the Cult of the Dragon. The players are going in, they're investigating rumors of oddities in the Weave. Elminster sort of taps them to help them assist looking into whatever this weird magic that's happening. There's some worries that it might be related to the Spell Plague, which was an older story from a few years ago, Earth years, of course. And you want to find out what's going on with it. Elminster is curious and sends players to all different parts of Faerun to look into this problem and see what it is. Eventually, the players uncover that it's a Cult of the Dragon. That was in the first milestone. For anyone who hasn't played, apologies, a little bit of spoilers there. But they're working in secret along the Sword Coast, and then a bigger plot comes to light, and then the players will learn that the 5 factions of the realms have formed a grand alliance to try to thwart this new threat as it unfolds. And the sheer gravitas of what the Cult of the Dragon is up to here, and the resources at their disposal now, requires this grand alliance to be formed. And the players will figure out what this is as they play through the story with the first milestone, A Tear in the Weave, and then, of course, through Prophetic Retellings. And then in this new third milestone. Sort of the first one, Elminster recruits adventurers, and then you figure out that they're Cult of the Dragon agents working covertly in the city of Neverwinter. And then you stop the cultists from trying to resurrect dead dragons in adventure zones. And then it sort of wraps up with a small instance and it's sort of underneath the city of Neverwinter. And then the second milestone, Prophetic Retellings, has the adventurers rooting out the various cult cells throughout different parts of Faerun. And then you discover that they've obtained an artifact from deep within Undermountain. And you have to figure out what that artifact is, and then you learn what they're doing with it. And what they're doing with this extremely powerful artifact. And I won't spoil what it is exactly for anyone who's still playing through it.
Oh, yes.
And then you go to Undermountain, and then you try to thwart them there, and you uncover what the magic that they're doing with. There's some high priest of Samaster, and for anyone who doesn't know, Samaster was actually one of Elminster's apprentices, who eventually gets corrupt and becomes a lich, and misconstrues this prophecy and starts to try to convert the Cult of the Dragon. Actually converts dragons into Dracoliches, and so it's a little complicated story, but they sort of woo these evil chromatic dragons into giving them infinite power and infinite life. And these, depending on the personality of the dragon, it can be easy, or it takes a little bit more work for these cultists to sort of woo them over and get them to see the value in this proposition, and then agree to be converted into, go through the process of what's called the rite of the Dracolich, and become an actual Dracolich. And so you see elements of this throughout the story, and you actually will see, you come across a conversion actually taking place into the rite of the Dracolich. And so in part of the story. So you get to see all those elements too. And this is actually a story bridge for the next module that's going to be coming out soon. So
nice.
This connects the story. So
now I'm gonna have to just get through it. We do have a question in chat asking. Scrub Nova is asking, where is the new BHE?
BHE.
I'm not sure what he's asking by BHE.
So is that a heroic encounter? And it's like a B rank HE?
Maybe?
Forgive me for not knowing the acronym. Apologies to Nova. If someone could clarify, I would appreciate it. Help me understand what the actual BHE is.
Yep, big heroic encounter. Okay.
Okay, big heroic encounter. Okay. I think we called them, I think there was major and minor. And when you're saying the next major heroic encounter, well, we don't have any heroic encounters with the Battle Pass, this particular Battle Pass, unfortunately. But there will be some in the next Adventure Zone that will go out I don't remember the exact date, so I can't share that, but excuse me, when the next Adventure Zone goes out, we are having more heroic encounters, and there will be major and minor heroic encounters as one of our many activities we have in Neverwinter.
Right.
So I don't know if that directly answers your question. So we typically do heroic encounters when an Adventure Zone goes live. So when we release a new Adventure Zone. And the Battle Pass is a story that takes place, as you see, starts in Protector's Enclave, and then branches out into different parts of the game that exist now. As you'll see when you play through the content, it takes you to Neverdeath Graveyard and the Well of Dragons, and it ties the story. The story weaves through all these different Adventure Zones. So.
All right.
But, we plan to do heroic encounters. We have big plans actually, and that's all I can really share for some new. I don't know exactly how much we've shared with the community, but we have plans to do some reworking of some of our major heroic encounters that are tied specifically to dragons. So I'll leave it at that. For anyone who's been paying attention, I mentioned in a different stream last month that we did disconnect through some of the, or let's say not disconnect, but we retired some of the dragons in a few of the Adventure Zones. So Vartilingorix and Charthraxis and Merithorax, we retired those 3 dragons. They were dragons that players could fight in the Adventure Zones, and they've been in the game for about 7 years. And players now, because the power of the dragons didn't scale with the power of the players, the systems group, we ran into this problem where the dragons were extremely squishy and they would die within seconds. And so players would come in, the dragon would land, they would raffle stomp this dragon really quickly, they would get their loot, and then they would continue on. And so you'd kill these dragons and you would collect this currency.
Trust me, I know.
You remember?
If you were a few feet away and did not get a hit in, you did not get.
That's a bad experience.
That happened a number of times with us. That if you were too far back, so I just, as a melee, I started standing under where the dragon would drop. And you just stand there so that when he comes, and you try to get a hit in. And there have been times we had quests that wouldn't update because they just died so fast.
Yeah, and I think we owe everyone an apology for that, because that's not a great gameplay experience. I think we just sort of we lost sight of maintaining that content and keeping it on par with the players' expectations, which was another reason why I got retired. So we yanked those dragons out of the game. We closed off those gameplay spaces where the dragons existed, for anyone who remembers, in Ebon Downs and Icefire Peak, and Neverdeath Graveyard. Sorry, those areas we blocked them off temporarily while we were doing removing those dragons, and then we reopened those areas for players to go back in and explore. And you actually go back into those areas as part of the Battle Pass, and you'll go in there and you'll see that the dragons are gone now. There's no more major HE in those locations. But there is a dragon corpse there, and when you get there, you'll see when you play through it, the cult of the dragon is there, and they're actually what they're doing in the story. This is going to be spoilers. What they're doing in the story is you can mute me for anyone who doesn't want to hear. Just turn your volume down.
La 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 la. No.
Right. The cultists are actually resurrecting these dragons. Is what they're doing, and so they're resurrecting these dragons because they're going to then once they bring these dragons for anyone who knows D&D, resurrection is a thing, right? You bring these dragons. They're going to bring these dragons back to life, and then they're going to convert them through using the rite of the Dracolich. So they make them alive again, which is weird, and then so they can turn them into Dracoliches. They have to be living in order to be turned. So they're dead. They bring them alive, and then they turn them into undead. And it's convoluted, but it's something that's not normally done in the game, so it's kind of cool. And so you go to these locations. The environment art group did an amazing job showing these dragon corpses, and the ground they've modified the environment so it looks like there was a giant epic battle, and the ground has got like potholes and it's stained depending on the dragon, the different dragon type, and there's bones there, there's a dragon skull there and stuff, and you can go there, you can get a lore entry that talks about the personality of the different dragons. Because in D&D, each dragon, as you all know, each dragon isn't just a mindless beast that you fight. Dragons are very intelligent, and they're spell-using creatures, and they're very depending. They can be mischievous, or whatever, and they're very smart. And so we wanted to give them a little bit more character. And so when you go to those locations, there's a clicky there. We call them clickies internally at Cryptic. There's an object that's got sparklies on it that you can click on, you can interact with, and that will give you a lore entry that talks about that dragon and their personality. It gives them a little bit of story about how they existed and when they died and how they died, and it gives a nod to the players who have been fighting those dragons all this time and defeating them. But we do have plans to reutilize that gameplay space in the future again, potentially, and bring it back. So when we did work, we were saying, okay, let's keep this space. Let's wrap up that little bit of story with those 3 dragons in those locations, and makes a cool visual. Tie that element, those story elements and those visuals into the battle pass, and then leave that space open for future use. And so this could be maybe the BHE. We were just the question again from Nova a moment ago. Those areas can potentially be used again in the future for new BHEs, and we've been talking about that when we want to do some stuff with the dragons. So we have plans in the future, in the near future, to do more dragon-related stuff, and so things will probably be coming back to those locations. So stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. So
that sounds really cool. There are times where there's big changes in games. I mean, ripping out dragons from a game that's Dungeons and Dragons. At first, you're like, how could you? But you've actually wrapped a whole story around these dragons being removed. So there's actually story through the game that you can play on why they're gone. And I really like that. I appreciate that instead of things just being pulled out or changed. I like when there's reasoning. I know there's gameplay, dev reasoning, but when there's reasoning that you get to come across and experience in game, that is really nice.
Yeah, I agree 100%. We have these conversations internally all the time. We're gamers too, and we're comic book and D&D geeks, right? And we love all this stuff, and we talk about these things all the time. And like, hey, so these dragons are broken. It's not a great experience. What should we do? Well, we can make them more powerful, but it's the same experience that's been in the game for 7 years. And we have this thing internally that we talk about with the evolving world, we say internally. And we want to make it feel like there's still those modules there like Ravenloft that everyone knows, and you still get that same pen and paper experience and that same story that you're familiar with when you go there. But we also want to show elements of the game have changed and have evolved over time. And so the evolving world thing is something we talk about internally all the time. Like, hey, this is a great opportunity for us to say, look, this content is a little bit sad. Let's sunset this piece of content. And then let's do something to show that the world has changed and the game has changed and things are different from when you checked it out last time, and to make it feel more interesting and alive, if you will. So it's kind of the thought process.
All right. Before I read a few more of your comments, guys, let's get started with this Elminster, because I like to hear what they have to say. This is one of the few games that really just keeps the voice acting throughout the game, and that's always been greatly praised and appreciated by our little group here. So let's see what Elminster has to say for a minute.
Hero of Neverwinter, will you take up arms against the perils that beset us? I see Sergeant Knox caught your ear. Splendid.
All right, so he's actually telling us here, and Battle Pass campaign, the whole campaign, prophecy, echoes of prophecy. And so we're just starting off here, because my character... We'll start doing this actually on our regular Neverwinter nights, folks, so that ought to be fun. Quest marked with the... Okay, you've got the cross swords. And daily random quests.
Your timing is most fortuitous.
All right.
It just so happens that I could use your assistance.
So part of this, there's the main story that weaves through all three of the milestones, and then there's repeatable content that players can enjoy at each milestone. So you can go through and play through the story, and then we've actually gotten a lot of feedback from the players, which is great, that the story felt really short and really compressed. As I mentioned actually before the stream, you can actually play through each of the different milestone story pieces really, really quickly, and you get through them really fast. But what we want players to remember is that our game is, by and large, a combat-centric game with story elements associated with it. So once you play through the story, you unlock repeatable content that you can then play through until the next story drop happens, and that which happened on the 1st of December for the Milestone 3. But now that it's been a few months, you can play through all the way up until up to Milestone 3 and all the way to the end now, actually.
So those of you who don't like waiting for sequels, here you go. They're all together. All right, I am actually going to open up our first giveaway. We're going to be giving away 3 of the keys. This time, folks, you get your choice of whether you need it as an Xbox, PlayStation, or a PC key. So the winners will get to choose which platform they use it on. I will open up the giveaway, and then we will listen to what Elminster has to say to us. All right, so here you go. You have to do exclamation point raffle, and that's how you enter. So here you go. Join in, folks, and let's listen to Elminster here for a minute. A subtle curiosity. Oh, he's not going to talk now? Do they not talk? Oh.
So when you click on the quest itself, the NPC will play the voiceover first, and if you click it again after that, it won't until you've logged back into the game, because it just prevents it from spamming you with constant voiceover.
Well, that sucks because we had to stop it. I might actually log out, log back in though, because I want to listen to him. Darn it.
Yeah, that should do it. If you haven't accepted the quest rather, and you log out, log back in, you should be able to play the VO again.
Really? Okay, we think we might actually try that. I have not known that. We're gonna see if it works. Log out. Just the character? Or do you have to log fully out of the game, you think?
That's a great question. I'm not sure. You could probably, if you've got the time, log fully out and back in. I could talk a little bit about the second milestone story while you're doing that, if you like.
Absolutely.
So one of the things I did mention with Semaster, for people who really like the lore stuff, there are these High Priests of Semaster, which are these mini-boss characters that the players will face while they're playing through the story. This story is meant to be solo or group play. So for any of the power gamers out there, the min-maxers who've got like a really high item level, you'll probably defeat these High Priests of Semaster pretty quickly. But these High Priests of Semaster are trying to cast this. They're trying to uncover this new meta magic spell, and place basically what's called a mythal, which is a very super meta magic powerful spell. And they're trying to do something, and that story actually gets uncovered and revealed when our next Adventure Zone goes live, and you'll find out exactly what's going on with what they've been doing and what they've been trying to do. They're actually working with Thayans as well in a few places, so you'll discover that as well. Kind of a small spoiler there, but it doesn't ruin any of the future story arc stuff. But one of the things I did want to mention that's really cool that we did is you actually get to you meet a friendly bronze dragon. Elminster's friend, Geisentraxia, and which is pretty cool. Most of the time in our game, you don't really interact with dragons except when you're fighting them. So one of the things I thought would be really interesting when we were coming up with the story was, well, how about you interact with a friendly dragon that's trying to stop the cult, because these friendly dragons are very smart creatures, and they know that the cult of the dragon is a problem, and creating Dracoliches is a huge issue. So you go, and Elminster is kind of cheeky about it, kind of says, oh, go talk to my friend, Geisentraxia, and you don't think about it, go meet my friend. He's kind of subtle about it, and you go out there and you go into this part of the Sword Coast, and you enter this beautiful like coastal area, and then you all of a sudden there's this bronze dragon there, and you're like, what? He never said you were a dragon. And she's like, oh, that's funny. I'm surprised he never spoke of me. But she's cool. Geisentraxia is cool. And you find out there's some story bits for anyone who's paying attention when you interact and talk to Geisentraxia that are all story elements that tie into the up and coming module. Pretty cool.
Nice. I love dragons. Okay, we're gonna listen to Elminster. This should work, and
Hopefully.
then we'll do the giveaway. And we'll run off, and I will try to bard down some fun in wherever Elminster sends us.
Ah,
Here we
hero
go.
of Neverwinter. Your timing is most fortuitous. It just so happens that I could use your assistance. Are you familiar with the weave? It is the raw material from which the tapestry of magic itself is woven. The great Mystra, mother of all magic, watches over it. Whether a spell intends to heal, harness the elements, or call forth the undead, it pulls from the weave. That brings me to my request. I've sensed someone or something tugging at the weave, more specifically the necromantic magic it contains. While I cannot see all ends, there are others who see more than I do. Kavatos Stormeye can see many ends, and I believe he may know what is unwinding the threads of necromancy. I suggest you speak with a few citizens along the way and see if they've seen anyone suspicious. Oh, and please, give Kavatos my regards.
I love the voice acting. I really do love the voice acting in this game. I must highlight it every time because it's just good. I have a question before we do the giveaway and other people's. It reads in here, Story Quest Awards, Echoes of Prophecy campaign currency. These quests are only available for a limited time while Battle Pass is active. So does this means though that all three, I forgot the name of them again.
The milestones.
Milestones,
For the,
thank you.
Echoes of Prophecy.
3 milestones. As long as all 3 of those are active, everybody can still play all 3 of them, correct?
100%. It will be, and they will do it what we call a last chance, and that will run until April 30th of next year.
And then it goes away, and you'll never
forever.
get to play it again. All right.
100%.
So now you've heard it here, everybody. If you don't play this by April 30th, you're out of luck. All right.
And then the rewards will probably migrate them to a different somewhere else for players to be able to get them, probably on the Zen store or something. But right now you can access them by playing through the content till April 30th.
Awesome. All right, let's do our giveaway, and we'll talk to some. But they got really chatty there for a bit on us. Dragonlancer, I'll talk to you after stream about that. Does Cryptic have any plans on bringing old gear and artifacts up to the new standard item level and become relevant for upcoming content or future content?
I don't know, actually. I can't answer that. I'm not sure what the systems group currently has planned. I think we should definitely do that, though, and definitely try to keep all of our items relevant. But we do like to add new things to the game, and new artifacts and things. So I don't know, to be honest.
All right. Then folks that came in a little late were, I guess they got a little bit of, wait, who's on camera versus the voice? Yes. This is one of the devs in Neverwinter. Let's see. VGs don't exist anymore because nobody wants to play PvP. I love to play and support these games for the duration of my life. I am sure that they are all very appreciative of that, Dragonlancer. Forgive my D&D fanboyism. Nothing to forgive you for.
100%.
All right.
We appreciate it. I'm right there with you.
All right.
100%.
And the other, Scrub Nova made a comment. Now, I don't know this one, but I'm looking forward to it now. You can encounter a dragon in Undermountain when you turn him into a chicken. So do dragons taste like chicken?
I worked on that content actually.
Oh, so we've got an expert.
So one of Hallister's apprentices, Arturia, you actually fight Arturia through part of the story, and you find there's actually, so let me take a step back. Everyone knows that there are sentient weapons in Dungeons and Dragons, and if you don't, now you do. And there's a sword, and there's a sentient being trapped in a sword, and you play through the Undermountain story, and there's a character there's a dragon, and you stab the dragon in the head with the sword, and the sentient being inside, I believe Tiralai is the name, the sentient being transfers into the dragon, and it's a green dragon that becomes a friendly dragon. And I apologize, I forget the name of the green dragon. It's been a little while since I worked on that module, but you do end up partnering up with this sentient being inside of this green dragon, Tiralai, and you fight Arturia, and at some point you turn the dragon into a chicken. Yes, it's pretty silly, pretty whimsical. It's funny. So yeah, good memory, player.
Jolly green dragon. Yes. Okay. All right. Here we go. 3 winners. We're gonna pull up now because this thing is weird. If your name comes up twice, no, you are not getting a second code. All right. So let's pick our winners here for 3 codes. What you'll need to do is send me Massively Overpowered, send me a whisper, and tell me what your platform is if you are a winner today. So here we go. First winner is Raylan Sark. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Woo-hoo!
Hey.
All right. And next one. Nope, see? Now it's going to be weird and it's going to... Okay, stop that. Dragon Lancer. Congratulations. All right, I got to keep track of how many I give away. Why do I not have a pencil here? I'll make marks in my arm.
Congratulations.
All right. And our next winner... See if it'll work. Scrub Nova. Congratulations,
nice.
Our first 3. Now, guys, we have 2 more times to do giveaways today. So if you did not win this time, do not feel bad.
Awesome.
You have more opportunities. And let us continue on. So we're working on the first battle pass with a level 2 bard.
Okay.
Please know that this stuff is... Like, right now I'm talking to people. I think I can handle this part. But we are recommended that you do it at level 20, okay? And there are 3 parts. But we're going to see how far you can get in the first part with a brand new little baby bard. Ooh, with a well-informed bartender. Aren't they always?
Welcome to the Moonstone Mask.
Well,
What
for
can I
players
do
who like a
for-
challenge, you can definitely start make a new character and try to see how far you can get through this content. Eventually, you're going to hit an item level gate with the adventure zones, because this content isn't really gated. It just sends you into adventure zones, and those adventure zones are item level gated. So you can go as far as you can based on your item level, and then once you get into the adventure zone, you can play through this battle pass content as far as you can get. So for anyone who likes a challenge, it's not limited. You're not gated by level. So
I think that's great. You can try, your whole Iron Man version of the battle pass. That's what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
All right. Anything
Now that
out of
you
the
mention
ordinary?
it, I have seen an increase in unfamiliar faces around here. Most of them are nice enough, but a few of them seem like they're up to something. Call it barkeeper's intuition. So, care for a drink?
Oh, don't want to drink on the job right now. I just want to find all the info. All right. Oh, I lost my little sparkly. Usually I never use the sparkly, but especially when I'm doing a stream and talking with someone, I'll get distracted and lose where I'm at. So I was depending on that sparkly. Now it's gone. Where did it go?
hopefully, if you leave the Moonstone Mask, it should return.
I hope so.
It's super helpful. It can save you a lot of time.
It can, and I like to usually adventure more fun, but this time when your eyes are over there looking at chat all the time, you're suddenly like, I can't. Oh, can you jump off the edge here?
You probably can, yeah. There should be a kill volume that will then let you respawn and protect your enclave.
Wait, where'd my mouse go? Why is my mouse not working? Does my mouse not work on with my death screen? What happened?
Hit the Alt
All right.
key.
There we go. Oh, I hope there was no, like, title for not dying in your first 10 levels or something, because I just lost that. All right, everybody. Free death
I can hear
counter
all your Neverwinter viewers screaming, "Push the Alt key! Push the Alt key!"
I thought I did, but I guess I hit the Enter key, or I mean,
look.
I think I hit the Control instead of Alt. Dragonlancer gifted 5 subs. Oh my goodness, guys, I can't speak English anymore. Oh my goodness, 5 subs. So Sipel, Tessai, Hangelman, Nardzilla, and Kokoma Jobo all have new subs. Dragonlancer, you know this means that you should be getting a sub song. I don't dare ask my guest to sing a sub song for you guys. Unless he really wants to.
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is.
We just
Tell me.
sing a song that has been altered to match subbing. So, well, this one, actually, Queen may be fitting here. Dun, dun, dun. Another one subs to us. Dun, dun, dun. Another one subs to us. And another one subbed, and another one subbed, another one subbed him off. Yay! Thank you,
awesome.
Dragonlancer. Oh, so you throw their names in
great.
it. Disney songs, Queen song, anything. But since there were 5 subs, had to pick a song that thanked 5 people, right?
That's awesome. That's great. I didn't know that was a thing. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's another one of the weird things that I do. Definitely, I know.
It's great. It makes it worthwhile, you know? You get 5 subs and then you get a song. It's cool.
Okay, my Sparkle never came back. Hey, Sparkle Path.
It didn't. Is it on your map? Can you look in your quest journal?
Yeah,
if you hit the right bracket, make sure you have that selected, that particular quest selected.
It is a subtle curiosity. Elder Reader Laris.
You have to go to the Sage's shop in PE for that, to speak with that gentleman.
I have no idea where that is. Is that not silly?
You should have sparklies for that. If you make sure, you have to make sure it's selected in the quest journal.
Oh, I do have it selected. Wait,
Okay.
Cannot find a path to this quest from your current map. So I just need to be in the right map, but I'm not sure what map I need to be in.
My map. That sounds like a bug.
I just undid it and then did it again, and it popped up. Okay.
Hey, okay, that's good.
I will warn
it's a little
you that
clunky sometimes.
I'm also known as finding the weirdest bugs in games. So if I break it, apologies. Probably
It's
more
perfect.
my fault.
Well, it's like you know, like anyone who remembers Elon Musk showing off the Cybertruck, right? And he throws that ball bearing at the window to show how awesome the glass is, and it shatters, you know. Or he doesn't do it. He's got, I forget, some other executive on there, and it like doesn't go as planned. It never goes as planned, you know. Whenever you're actually showing it in real time, right? So you find all the bugs because, you know, you've got the developer on here to embarrass. It's perfect.
Yeah. It's just in the worst. I've had serious game-breaking ones that I've had a couple devs tell me jokingly to stop playing their game.
No, it's good. I like it when you find that stuff because it just reminds us that we should fix it and make the best stuff we can for our players always. So,
yeah. Now this one, of course, the higher levels should be playing that. They should already kind of know these little tricks, maybe.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But a newbie catching that, and they're just gonna be like, now what? Where do I go? What?
That's a good point, actually. We often forget, internally, we being us, the developers, is we often don't, we have to remember, like, hey, we should roll a bard, a new character, and play through the game again, and try to see it with fresh eyes, and see what the players are seeing, you know, anyone new to the game, right? So you get that actual experience. And so that's a huge point. That's a totally good point, MJ. Like, you never know. It's important.
Let me think a moment. Yes, a few odd characters came in here recently. They did not seem the type to have an interest in magic, but they asked
Did my internet go down?
about
Hello?
the undead.
Nope, you're here.
More
Oh,
than
okay.
I'm used to
Got
anyway.
quiet.
I went quiet because Elder Reader Lara started talking to me.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. I clicked on him a little too quickly, and I'm like, oh, whoops. All right. Ooh, there's a shiny book right here. I can't.
There's a bunch of clickies in there upstairs. If you go into the back there to look at it. Just some of them are lore entries. It's sort of like the equivalent of our library, the great library of like arcana and artifacts and stuff in the Sage shop. So we use it for different quests and things over the years, and included with this as well with the battle pass.
Oh. You can still come into this shop, even not in the battle pass, right?
Anytime, yeah, you can go into there. You don't have to be playing through Echoes of Prophecy to actually go into the Sage shop. It's just there's a merchant in there, and you go in there for various quests send you in there. So.
Oh, and all the little lores. I mean, normally I'll just sit here and read through all of them, but we don't want to take more time away from the battle pass. I'm excited now. I think we may take a break from where we were heading. Actually, I think this is a good break because the last time we adventured as a group really was when we were going through the zones. We didn't make it through every zone yet, and we were only in our 60s, I think.
Before the level rework?
Yep. And then the level rework happened while I was gameless. So
Yeah,
we've been
Jules
trying
and
to think about where to start, what to do for our group. I think actually coming in and doing this battle pass will be a fun activity. Even though some of it's solo, some of it's group, we can run in and do it together.
It would be great if you're like, depending on your item level, if you duo it, but if you play with a full group, you'll blow through the content super quick. It'll be really easy. But that might be a good thing. If you want to get through it quickly, then that's absolutely one way to do it.
Yeah, so we're going to show them what it's like for a level 2. And then during our regular Neverwinter nights, folks, we will start doing the battle pass on our 20s and do that whole entire experience. So that, I'm really excited. I've been wondering where to go. We've all been like, okay, what battle, where can we all go? Okay, we can, Ebon Downs was, I think, the next one we were looking at. But yeah, once you got to a certain point and they changed it all up, we felt we were floundering a little bit. So, all right, Harper Legion Merchant Felden wants to talk to us. All right, Felden.
The cult of the dragon are evil, plain and simple. They must be confronted, resisted, and destroyed.
And destroyed.
I've seen a lot of people I don't recognize lately, mostly in the alley behind me. I catch them gawking once in a while, but that's about it. Makes me uncomfortable, but it's nothing I'd go and alert the guards about.
Oh, thank you for your time, sir. Alright, gawking at you from the alley behind. I need to get my other mounts on this character. General Barash. So we talked to...
Bahamut, grant us the strength to face the trials ahead.
Bahamut. In my D&D campaign, that was my deity.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I missed that campaign. We played it for years. It just ended when we moved. Anything
That's
out
tough.
of the ordinary.
Have
Well, we
I
solved
seen
it,
anyone
so...
suspicious?
You wrapped it up? Because if you didn't, you can probably just do it. Everyone has cameras now, right? You can probably play online.
That's fine.
There's software
But
that will
they
help you do
unusually
campaigns
move.
remotely now. Is it like a thing?
If you have a moment, would you be interested in learning the history of the dragon gods?
I think what else I
Yeah,
can share.
we wrapped up the entire world campaign. The thing that was left next was to jump into Spelljammer space and start all anew. So it was a good
That's
stopping
cool.
point. And it's gonna be really fun because I'm actually writing up the entire story of our campaign. I'm excited about that.
We have a lot of Spelljammer fans actually at Cryptic Studios. We talked
Oh,
about
yeah?
it quite often. I mean, you think about it for a moment. We have D&D. We have that license through Wizards of the Coast. We have Star Trek. If we take the two games and we bring them together, you have Spelljammer to a certain extent.
True.
Apologies if I offend anyone of the purists out there, but let's just take it for, let's be a little brevity for a moment here. We talked about Spelljammer a lot, actually. That's something that we'd love to try to do. I'm not saying we are doing it, but it would be awesome if we did. The lead designer, Randy, is a huge fan as well. I'm a fan of Spelljammer. Some of our artists, it's great. So that'd be awesome to do that. So anyway,
Nice.
great you mentioned that.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good breaking off point. And especially because, now we're all spread out and everybody has different work times and everything. All right, I am opening up our second giveaway. Right, we're
nice.
doing 3 groups of these folks. If you've already won one, you're not winning again. If it rolls you a second time, you're not winning again. But yes, exclamation point raffle, and that enters you. We've put a 3-minute timer up, so you have that much time to go. And it is a Yeth Hound pack, and the pack comes with a companion and a mount. And I wish I could show it off to you right now, but I can't. I only have my little horsey here. So join in, and we will continue with our... See, starting was easy. Level 2, look, I'm just talking to people in Protector's Enclave.
Yeah, that mission is pretty chill. You just run around, try to figure out if they've seen anything, what's going down. Like, Elminster's like, go investigate this. And you go talk to some people. Hey, guys, you seen anything? What's going on?
All right. Hikari says, read chat before it scrolls away. All right, poor guy. Dragonlancer said, unfair to make guests sing. Hey, actually, some of the devs have come on, especially the Star Trek ones. He comes on and sings for us. So you can't tell me awesome. I can't ask sometimes. Hikari, that's a bug. If you speak to a contact in Moonstone Mass, the quest pathing will disappear. Just retoggle it. She just duplicated the bug. So there you go.
Okay, yeah.
You've got some testers in our chat going in to check the bugs for
you. Yeah, shout out to all the players that are helping us make the game better. Thank you so much. All right,
thank you, Hikari. When the gift becomes playable, I was really hoping for Spelljammer. Oh. Yeah,
me too.
All right. Oh, okay. Sorry, Barash. I've been ignoring you.
Several of my warriors were denied provisions by a surly merchant off Protector's Road. Peculiar. I've never met a merchant who wasn't eager to make some coin. No matter, my quartermaster will be here on the morrow.
Well, that is true. How many merchants say no to money? That's... All right. Woo! Off to the Never Death Graveyard. Yoo-hoo! Wait, is that a different quest, or is that the same quest, or did I just finish up the quest?
Did you hand it in to Elminster, or did you talk to Kavados yet?
I didn't talk to anybody. How did it disappear? Oh, what? How did it take that from being the... It just threw it to Grave News for my priority. Don't be doing that. Rude.
Yeah, we actually have... That's been an issue actually with our own internal playtests. We've had problems where we'd be testing internally with a character that has other quests, and somebody would go do something, and the quest would update, and then it would shift to another quest. It would pick that as the one to follow, to quest the quest priority.
That's exactly what it did. I would have been in the wrong spot, and then going, why can I not manage to complete this?
We actually need to fix that. It's a pretty big problem, because we've gotten actually our own internal playtest feedback from people where they'd be like, hey, I went to that location and there's nothing to do for this particular quest. I don't understand. And so they're looking at the thing, it says go find the dragon bones or whatever, but they're standing at a spot in the game world and there's no dragon bones, and they get confused, and then feedback comes to us, like the content designers. Hey, I went to the spot, and it turns out they were actually on a different quest, and they followed the location for a different quest because the quest journal Golden Path had selected a different thing for them. So we actually should address that internally. So apologies to everybody who gets thrown off and they don't understand why. They just think the game is buggy. So we definitely need to fix that.
I was all excited to go to the graveyard.
Well, you can. You're the appropriate level. It's level 1 and 2, I think. I think level 2 is the minimum to get into the graveyard right now.
All right,
I think when you leave, you're like level 3 or 4 or something.
All right, we will do that. Looks like we're going to have more codes to give away. Only one entry made it in. So, congratulations, Hikari. Be sure to send me, which is massively overpowered, the a whisper in Twitch that tells me what platform you want your key on. And we have more keys to give away later. Keep watching. There is a 1 ticket cost, which is basically amounts to 10 minutes of watching the stream. So that is put in place so that we didn't get inundated by people who jumped in, bot central. Jump in, bot, try to win something and take off. You actually have to sit here for 10 minutes and watch. But we still have
Crazy.
We still have 5 more codes to give away, I believe. So keep watching, keep listening, keep laughing. I'll probably die. Oh, maybe not. I figured Never Death Graveyard was going to be really high level, but it looks like we're going to be okay.
It should be the appropriate level for your character. If your character's level 2, that sounds about right. But you probably will. It'll get tricky if you're on one of the battle pass actual quests to go into the Never Death Graveyard, because the cultists you're going to run into might be a bit of a challenge for you. So when you get to that point, are you playing through what's the name of the quest you're doing? Woven Disturbance or A Subtle Curiosity?
Yes. Currently, I'm hopefully turning this in, the Subtle Curiosity, to Calvados right now.
Disturbance.
All right, here we go. All right, let's listen to him.
Greetings. There is nothing needed for now.
Greetings. I don't want to talk to you. Oh, well, thanks. Okay. Go talk to this guy. Greetings. I don't want to talk to you. Okay.
Elminster.
Oh, now he'll talk to me. Okay.
This must be important.
Some of the characters when we build these characters out, we have a writer in house we use too, and when we come up with either the content group or the writer, we come up with these characters. We always try to make them very different and unique from each other to try to make them feel like a real person. And often we make them, arrogant or snooty or grumpy, and so when you go talk to them, they're gonna act differently every time, depending on what every character will be different from one another, depending on which one you talk to.
With one of the strangers yourself.
We did something really fun with Sharndar, with the Return to Sharndar, for anyone who remembers that module that came out recently. With some of the characters you talk to there, we tried to make them very distinct from one another. So, Thradasar in particular, we wanted to make him extremely arrogant and very. He talks down to people and very annoying. And so he's like, you go to talk to him and he's bothered and annoyed by you because he's too busy with his magic research he's doing. So, it's pretty funny. I think we tried to. Whenever you do, he's also in the heroic encounters. He's in a couple of them, and we have these things called the mini contacts, and players will know them, where this little tiny UI element will appear with a headshot of the character and something that they're saying. You'll see them in the bottom corner of your screen if you have them turned on. And Thradasar, when you're doing some of the heroic encounters, he has very snooty things he says, you'll complete the heroic encounter, and he'll say, "Not bad for an adventurer." It's just really funny. So we try to make them interesting.
This one threw me off because it says complete. You click the complete. Okay. And he didn't talk to you till after you completed. But usually they stop talking to you. So it's like, go report. And then he's like, never mind, I don't want to talk to you. And I was like, okay, that seems a little... But after you hit the complete button, then he started speaking with you again.
For the next
I liked that timing.
Offers.
I liked that timing, even though it threw me off a little bit. And here's the echoes of prophecy currency. And a little bit of silver.
There are problems within Neverwinter that must be solved.
And woven disturbance. Tell us about it.
It was wise of Elminster to enlist your aid. Even if the Order of the Third Eye is currently blind to whom or what is behind these disturbances in the Weave, they can only mean one thing. Powerful magic is at work, and we must find the source. I surmise the increase in suspicious individuals is no mere coincidence. I have noticed increased activity in areas that were once terrorized by dragons.
Increased activity.
I cannot see where this path may lead, but I suggest beginning your search there.
Yeah. Okay, sometimes I actually respond to the NPCs talking to me. We'll just pretend I'm not crazy. That's okay. It's more fun if you're into the role, right?
Sure. We won't try to tell you how to roleplay your character. Ever. That's not our place to say.
All right. So yes, we get to Woven Disturbance, and I think we're heading to the graveyard now.
I think that's the only one you can actually enter of the 3 locations that you're asked to go investigate.
My itty bitty self.
For your current character level, of course.
Wait, why is it running me this way? Why couldn't I go to that door? What? Alright, little sparkles. Why are you making me go this way? Oh, because I have to go to this door. Alright. Fine. Never Death Graveyard. Sweet! Let's go watch my bard fight! Ooh, cutscenes. Nice. Man, we haven't been here in a long time. Oh, memories.
Really tough deciding which adventure zones we were gonna disable. For people who remember with Jewel of the North, we did the leveling rework. We had to disconnect some of the old adventure zones. That was not easy to do. Never Death Graveyard is one of our favorites for sure. There was just a few that unfortunately the visual fidelity wasn't there anymore and the content wasn't amazing. It was good. There were good stories there, but the experience for players now for a game that's 9 years old just didn't seem like we were putting our best foot forward. So we ended up turning off a lot of those. And we may at some point decide to go back and clean them up and give them more visual fidelity and then re-release them. But no promises. We don't have anything currently planned. So.
Oh, that would be really nice because I'll be honest, anytime you lose areas is painful to me because some of the areas we didn't quite get to, or some of me have memories of when you've adventured and you know. Sometimes change is hard, so if they ever do come back, I will be right there, jumping in them.
Well, we did. That was the thing with Sharndar. Sharndar was one of those older zones that we released a long time ago, and it was the one where we decided let's go and see if we can do a reimagining and see how that works and how much development time that takes and how much environment time. It was actually tricky because it was right at the start of the pandemic. So we had to pivot to working remotely and at Cryptic Studios, figuring things out and figuring out how we're going to do this collaborative process now with everybody doing it from home. And that was quite a bit of a challenge, and that made the Sharndar reimagined delayed a little bit. It took a little bit longer to get it done than we had planned. But that was our first foray into trying to take old content and take it down, take it away, and then bring it back later. And we were very happy with how it turned out. The players seemed to enjoy it quite well. So it may happen again in the future depending on how things look. We've got bigger plans right now looking forward before we start to look back again. But anything's possible, as you know, with an MMO. Right?
Nice. Hikari, is that an alt of yours following me around? I'm pretty sure that's one of your viewers following me around. Level 20, helping me out. No, I have a guardian fighter angel here.
Nice. There you go.
I love when viewers join in. For our D&D nights, we actually made set groups. Some viewers used to actually have a DDO night where we had another MOP player, or MOP staff in it. But those are even harder to work together and get the timing right.
I haven't seen DDO in forever. I haven't looked at that game since they first went free to play, and that was like showing my age here. That was like over a decade ago, right?
Wow.
More than that, now I think about it.
Oh, hey, I just noticed I'm running around with the Beholder tank pet. Not pet, yeah. I think that's the pet that you get in the grand prize packet.
Oh, nice.
So,
we didn't even talk about the new rewards, actually.
Oh,
I
gosh.
can talk about them a little bit.
Oh, yes. While I am searching, tell us all about the new rewards.
Well, every milestone has a reward associated with it, and the rewards that you can access now, there's a legendary mount choice pack that you can get. There's the lion vanity pet. For anyone who knows Protector's Enclave and Neverember, the city icon is a lion. For anyone who didn't know that, and then there's also the chase item, or the really high value item is the vanity barded Neverwinter lion mount, which is really cool.
Really? I would have done this so much quicker.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty sick. Like the VFX team, they do some great stuff with the VFX that they put in. The character team makes these really cool mounts. And the animation, the animators do a great job too. It's just awesome. But you can go through, play the repeatable content, get your currency, and then unlock the reward. And then again, you have until April 30th. And then after April 30th, you'll have to figure out. We're gonna have to figure out where we're gonna put these, and you get your access to them later. But you can get these with the premium battle pass as well. So if you do that now, you can unlock all that stuff and get all those rewards. So
yeah, we're doing this. This is taking over our Neverwinter night. Okay, so interesting thing. Did you guys do cleanup and everything graphically in here? I know you took it down and took out the dragon, but these breezes that are blowing through, I do not remember this at all. It seems much more atmospheric than the past.
I think some of that stuff has been there. There might be, so the environment, we didn't really touch the main neighborhood as a whole, or not neighborhood, but the adventure zone as a whole. When we did some of the leveling rework, we definitely streamlined the playthrough of the content, but nothing was really touched. However, in the area where the old Dragon HE was, and where the battle pass is sending you now, the environment team did touch those areas. So if that feels more atmospheric to you now, in that particular spot, then there is a good chance that the environment art team did make some changes and try to make it feel more atmospheric and more visual storytelling had a pass done to it. So.
Yeah, that it does. The blowing winds, the rain, the sound. It seems more. Oh, hey, Neveryard Graveyard clues. All right. So I have to kill the peoples. Ooh, I don't want to stand in any of that red. Trying to play this like my assassin, and it keeps taking me a second to remember, nope, this is not my assassin. I don't know what skill I just hit, but...
Yeah, you gotta relearn. Especially if it's a new class, right?
Oh, here it is.
Out here looking like an eBay player. For anyone who gets the reference.
Here's the wing. Oh. Man.
I don't have my notes in front of me. Let me see. I'm trying to remember which dragon. I'm sure the players are already like, oh, you fool. You should know what dragon that is. There you go. Thank you. Charthraxis.
Charthraxis.
Yes, the Neverwinter Graveyard, yes, is Charthraxis. And then Marathrax is in Icefire Peak, and then Vartilian Goritz is in Ebendaus, which is the Black Dragon. Marathrax is the White Dragon. And Charthraxis was the Green Dragon. There should be a lore clicky there for you, too. You should see it on the skull. MJ, I don't know if you see it.
I clicked on it, and I got it. I was going to read it, and then all these little baby dragon things are trying to... Assassin drakes are... I am not remembering. I only opened this... Oh, that's probably bad. That's bad.
Where's your level 20 Guardian Angel?
Here. Or was here. Dodge better! Dodge better! There we go. There you go.
Here's viewers now. Die.
I know!
Die.
Well, Darth doesn't seem to be in here, but Darth is,
That's an appropriate name.
Yeah.
That's an appropriate name for a person that wants you to die.
Yeah, Darth Brawl is always chanting for the death counter to feed, you know, always like, oh, poor death counter. You know, what's going to happen if it doesn't feed? Yeah.
So you can still read the lore entry if you open your journal. and you can click on it. There should be a tab there at the top, one of the red tabs. To click on it, you can scroll down and read the lore entry for that dragon if you would like.
Yeah, I'll just wait till I'm a little safer.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. That's funny you mentioned that, because I think the delivery on this could have been done in such a way where we don't hand it to the players right in the middle of an area where it's unsafe. Maybe we could have done it, thinking this out loud. The content group could have delivered that lore entry instead of it being on something you interact with in the game world. It could be on when you hand in like your quest. You hand in the quest and you get 3 lore entries on each dragon or something.
Oh no, I like this. I like this.
It makes the world feel a little bit more alive too when you can engage with it with your character.
Yeah, and the fact that you've got that little bit of a chest tightening. Can I read it fast enough before I get out of here? Because the dragon wasn't doing anything for a minute. I'm like, all right, maybe I can read, and then it was like,
One of the things we did with Sharndar, actually, with the 3 hags, when as you defeat each of the hags as you play through that story, it actually, an interactable book becomes available for you in the actual city, in the hub of Sharndar, where the actual elves are. There's behind Thradasar, there are bookshelves, and some books become interactable as you defeat the hags, and you can click on them and read, and you get a lore entry that talks about the different type of hags. So the night hag and the anise hag and the green hag. Each of those hags in Dungeons and Dragons are different hag types, different powerful creatures, and you can actually read about them. So we try to do little things like that where you unlock stuff. We did that actually with Avernus too. As you play through the Avernus story, if you do the hunts, for anyone who knows the hunts where you hunt those creatures and you defeat them, if you go into the library in the Bleeding Citadel, there'll be books you can click on, and it has lore entries on each of the different hunt creatures that you defeat, the powerful hunt creatures. So we try to add those cool tidbits for players. Some players will notice that when you go to the library, you're like, what are all these things sparkling? I don't remember this. And you start to click on them because you've been defeating the hunt creatures, in Avernus and the Bleeding Citadel. So we do this similar stuff with our lore delivery. So
this is almost going to be a death by chat. Let's see. MJ, you looked over to chat and ran right by a group of mobs. I got this.
It's like, don't text and drive, don't chat and game.
Yes, do not chat and game. Do not chat and run, especially.
Auto run, right? Numlock.
Well, I am using my key at least, but all right, I'm gonna stand over here in the corner for a moment. All right, now look at your. All right. Oh, Dragonlancer is talking to anybody if they want to get into DDO. Yeah, there is a coupon, free questing coupon. Even though it's free to play, you'll get it's all the way till the end of December, I think, that you can get a lot of their little quests for free.
What's a free questing coupon? I mean, we're talking about a different game. So.
Yes. Oh, so what it is they have like lots of little, let's just call them modules right now, and they have expansions, but they have a bunch of other like blocks of new content, and there's
for like
special
DLC
ones.
Or something.
Yeah. There are special ones, and there are a bunch of new quests. And right now, till the end of the year, they're like giving like basically all of them away, but the latest expansions and stuff. So you can actually get tons of content for free in DDO right now.
Cool.
You can check out massivelyop.com. Just go to the DDO section, and we've got a news post on it, tell you what to do. Hikari says bards are basically single target rogues with buffs. Okay, yeah, that's a little different. Oh, yeah, I could possibly be Buffy. Come on, Noah, get your lore on, Tumor Boy says. And Scrub Nova, what is the key on the table in Valenhaz used for? So there's a key on the table, and maybe he's not going to tell you. Maybe you got to figure that out.
I'm trying to remember. I know the key, and I can't remember exactly what we did with that because that was a few modules ago. We're talking like that was content we developed in 2019.
2019 is like the last normal year. How are we supposed to remember that stuff?
I feel like I'm perpetually in March 2020 here. Like, I feel like it's been March 2020 forever. It's like Groundhog Day, right? To the question, I am going to look that up again. I'm going to go back into our tools and I'm going to go look at that because I have faint recollection of the key, and I have faint recollection of the table in outside where Lord Barian is in Valenhoss, and I know that there was something relevant there, but I don't remember exactly what it was and what we did with that and why it's relevant. So it's like seeing, like, you saw a movie once 20 years ago and you're trying to recall it. That's what it feels like to me here. I'm like, oh yeah, like there was that one thing with that thing and we did a thing with that thing. So unfortunately I don't have a great answer to your question, but I am going to look that up, and when I find out, if you message me on the forums, on our official forums, I will reply with an answer to you personally, with what that key was for.
All right, there you go.
I will say this: we often do put things in the game that don't necessarily have endings to them, and we don't do it to troll you. 100%, I'm being honest here. We don't do it to troll the players, but often a designer might have a great idea, or the writer will have a great idea, and we'll put that in, and then we won't be able to follow up and bring closure to that story. And I'll give you a good example. So with when we originally did the Valenhoss story with the Paladin Alric, he's a Vengeance Paladin. And when that module wrapped up, before we did Avernus, there was no story bridge for that. We didn't have a plan to wrap up that Alric story for that character. And then later, we decided, hey, actually, Alric's story, we should finish that. We need to wrap that up. And so we ended up tying up that story in M19. Sorry, M19 is the non-official name, but in the Avernus module for Alric, where he goes from being a Vengeance Paladin, he seeks redemption, and Zariel, after she gets her redemption, he also then gives Alric his paladin redemption, and he's no longer a vengeance paladin and becomes a more traditional paladin. So my point, though, to the key in Valenhoss is sometimes we put things in the game and we have an idea for it and a plan, but it doesn't come to fruition, and we don't make something and it doesn't wrap up, and it just becomes this story thread that's unfinished, which probably drives you guys crazy. Sorry.
So Scrub Nova, do that. Go on the forums, ask your question. He says, of course, nobody has figured out what the key was used for. Noah's going to go look it up for you and get you an answer of what the key was. So there you go. You are going to have some insider knowledge. All right.
I will dig that up and I will find it, and I will reply to your PM on the official Cryptic, on our Cryptic forums. So.
Awesome. Now I see Valenhoss is one of the places I can actually go to. It doesn't look like I can get to anywhere else. So there are two more corpses, Merathrax's and, okay, let me say this one, Vartaling or Gorix's.
Correct.
Where
I know,
are
dragon
those
names are the worst, man.
Oh, I've played dragons, and making them, and then your other teammates hate you because they can't, like, you're not supposed to be able to pronounce it with a human tongue, okay? That's how it is. What two areas, since I can see that my character can't go anywhere, what two areas would we find those in for them to continue? Just so I give everyone a bit of an update here. And I'll open the giveaway one more time while we're talking.
You would have to go to Ebon Downs, and you'd have to go to Icefire Peak, and your character this current character you're playing with is not going to be powerful enough, is not at the right level to be able to enter those areas, unfortunately. So you won't be able to see that content for now.
Well, we will, because we have a Neverwinter night every two weeks. D&D night is Thursday nights, and we're always flipping between the two Dungeons and Dragons games.
But one thing we did too with our Jewel of the North update is we did streamline the leveling process. So getting to epic level after epic level 10 to all the way to 20 is really quick. Actually, you can go from 1 to 20 in a reasonable amount of time, because in our game, it's not as much about the journey. It's more about the destination for all intents, because the game opens up immensely when you hit endgame, when you hit 20. So there's lots of fun, solid story stuff to play through the leveling content. But once you hit 20, the game opens up gigantic, and there's a lot more stuff to do. So you can blow through 1 to 20 pretty quickly, actually. So
okay, now I have an odd question, and this may not have an answer. This supposition may be totally off. Now, if you guys want to get a giveaway of the Yeth Hound pack be sure to enter !raffle. You get to choose which platform that you want it on. Now, my question is, so we were discussing, maybe not even in chat, maybe it was with my family. I don't know. I had this discussion within the last 2 days about Neverwinter and the level squish. And
Sure.
it's like, why? Why would you... Oh, you know what? It was with my daughter. We're talking about, we were talking about leveling games. I have a whole gaming family. It's great. So going from 60 to 20 seems weird because, and then, if everything only opens a door, or what the 20. I don't know if this has any bearing, but in my mind, it feels like you took a Dungeons and Dragons game and actually made it it gives a little more Dungeons & Dragons flavor, because you don't have characters playing up to 60 usually. You're leveling up to 20. Now you just told me the leveling was easy, so that kind of blew that out of the water. But the idea, you're working towards a 20th level character, to get your first, dual class or what, that actually felt more D&D to me than having a level 60 character, because...
Well, that's exactly right.
You're not running around with level 60s in D&D. You've got a level 20, and sometimes my character actually stayed in the ones. So she was going up to level 40. But if you dual, when you dual class, then you're moving something else up to 20. 20 is feels like that magical top number in D&D.
Well, I mean, as you've obviously played many games, and as you realize, the numbers are kind of arbitrary, right? When you look at most games, you definitely want to get a sense of progression as a player, and you definitely want to see your character, ideally, growing and becoming more powerful, whether it's through item acquisition or through just sheer numbers and the power that you're gaining, however that's being delivered to your character. So what we wanted to do is we said, well, this is a Dungeons and Dragons game, and we said, well, why is there any reason why we can't have our numbers be more in alignment with the actual pen and paper game? And we looked at it. We said, okay, well, what happens when we release another update? Do we have to go past level 20? Well, not really. I mean, it's just another story. If you look at it as though the modules, and by the actual definition of the word, it's something that's encased in its own element, right? So you release a module and you put it in the game, and players, regardless of their level, is something that they can experience. So they play through that content, and if the power of the module scales appropriately with the player, then it doesn't really matter if they're over 20 or under 20 or 1 million. The number is irrelevant, because the module itself defines the experience and defines the numbers. So I don't know if I'm doing a good job answering this, but we wanted the numbers to match pen and paper D&D to make it feel more D&D like, as you'd said, and that was 100% correct.
I feel brilliant.
And then we just said, well, it's more about the module experience. So
I love it. I'm right. Everybody mark this down on your calendars. I was correct on a date. Today, December 10th, MJ was right with something.
Your hunch was correct.
Yes.
Yes, you were correct. So that was part of it, right? We wanted to make it feel more D&D like, and we found other ways to we're increasing your item level, right? And so as your character's gearing up and you're leveling up your insignias and you're socketing all of your items, and you're increasing your item level, that's the number that's growing beyond the character level, right? So if you can mentally decouple your character's level and your item level and make them two separate entities in your mind, the item level is actually the power curve for all intents and purposes, and your character level is more of an arbitrary number that's kind of in lockstep with the pen and paper game, right? And so it's not directly, but it's heavily borrows from pen and paper D&D. Is how we've always presented our game from day one.
I mean, who isn't searching for better gear and loots, and in pen and paper?
Well, that's it, right?
You don't want your shield of plus 10 demon bashing or whatever. You're looking for the cool loot. So I like that.
Man.
That actually.
Here's
that's
how
cool.
old I am. I remember rolling, on those tables to get treasure, in second edition D&D in the 80s. And I remember how excited I was. I was like, yeah, I know we're murder hobos here and attack and slash, but now it's time to get the loot. And I was like, yes, maybe I'll get a +1 weapon in this thing. And you roll and you roll and you're like, oh, I got some gems. That's cool. I got some gold pieces, some Electrum. That's how old I am. Is Electrum even a thing anymore? And, yeah, but it's good times. The loot is half the experience, in my opinion. It's the role playing, and then maybe it's not half, but it's a third. But it's like the role playing is half, and then the other half is the mechanics and the treasure, that you get when you're playing, the rewards. So
yes. All right, here we go. Hikari says that especially for new characters, your level now basically says how far into the story you've progressed. And I'm gonna draw our next winners. All right, here we go, folks. And Moose Kinda Guy. Love that name. Moose Kinda Guy, you are one of the winners. Please send me a whisper in Twitch. You can just click right there on Massively Overpowered, my name, and send me a whisper with what platform you want your Yeth key given to you in. Don't pick one that you don't play, because that would probably be a bummer when it doesn't work. Just saying. Just saying. All right. And Spawnuk, you have also won. Congratulations. Oh my goodness, everybody. Thank you so much. I think we probably need to be letting
winners
get to work or something soon, right?
I do. At some point, I do have to get back to work.
Here.
One of the things that I can talk a little bit about what I'm working on right now. 'Cause whatever I'm working on today is stuff you will see in the future. Obviously, we do have our recurring events, and one of the events we have is the Protector's Jubilee, which is the Neverwinter anniversary event, which we celebrate once a year, the week of when the game actually launched and went live. And this coming I want to say next summer, which would be 2022. I'm working on it now, which is in December, obviously, of 2021. But the 9th year of the anniversary is what I'm working on now, and I'm adding in some new quests for players to do. That's what I'm working on, and I'm also working on. We're planning on taking the Tyranny of Dragons zone, the campaign itself for Tyranny of Dragons, and turning that into an epic adventure. And so that will streamline that experience, doing that right now. And then also we're looking at, for those of you who do the guild content in your stronghold, there are the dragon flights. For those of you who know what that is, where you fight dragons in your guild, in your guild zone. We're also planning on I'm also working on looking to streamline some of that, and of course add in the future dragon stuff that we're working on that I can't really talk about. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Future dragon stuff that we cannot talk about.
It's gonna be hype. Don't worry. We're planning on bringing the dragons back with a vengeance to Dungeons and Dragons, because
9th anniversary. Ah, wow.
Next summer. Yep, next summer. We're working on it right now.
Seems crazy.
9 years. And the game's still super healthy, and we're still doing well. We have a lot of players. It's great. D&D is legit. I'm very happy to be working on this game. I couldn't have done it without all you players, so thank you.
Awesome. One last question. Scrub Nova is begging us to please ask this. Are there any plans on cross-platform integration?
Probably not. Unfortunately, that on the back end would be a huge mess, and I'm pretty sure like Microsoft and Sony aren't like the best of friends. So I have a sneaky suspicion that probably won't ever be a reality. Obviously, I'm not an engineer. I don't work with the engineering group at that level. So I don't think that's going to be a thing. It's nothing I've ever heard of. So sorry, unfortunately. It'd be interesting. I don't know how other games have done that. If they have done that, I can't remember who's done that. Sony and like PlayStation and Xbox cross-platform.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, if you could build it on the back end.
Warframe is cross-platform right now.
Warframe. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. That's awesome. But we currently have no plans, so I can say that we have no plans.
That is a hard thing to do. That was years in the making for them. Many years in the making. And, so I can understand that.
I'm just trying to think how the client server architecture would work. I'm just a designer, right? But just trying to think of what I know and how much work it would be. I think you could do it as long as the clients for the Xbox and the PlayStation are insulated from one another and they're just passing data to the server, and then the server is then sending data out to those platforms. So it might be, there's obviously Warframe has done it, so there's a way to do it. But
so some possibility in the future. Never say never, folks, but there are no plans. All right.
Exactly.
This is where we're going to be calling it, because we want to make sure that Cryptic doesn't get mad and say they can't stream with us anymore since I keep them away from work so long. But just a reminder that there is another giveaway on the stream post, and this one includes it's a Neverwinter treasure chest. So nice. These items, a steel tankard, drink coasters, and guitar pick, these are items that will be mailed to your house. Now, it is only eligible, the only folks eligible are in North America, Europe, and Australia. Canada, United Kingdom, Europe, Australia residents 18 years and older. You need to enter that on the post. I just linked it for you. I gave you an easy, quick way to get there. Go follow the instructions, and you have a chance to win yourself that amazing chest. Plus, you get the Yeth Hound key pack. So go ahead, and if you missed winning one today, you still have another chance. So check it out. And
that's cool.
Of course,
so you actually send people, they actually win a physical, you send them like a guitar pick and other stuff?
We're not. You guys are.
Oh, we are. Okay, cool. Sorry. That's good. I didn't know that. I don't talk to marketing that much. So
I know,
cool.
yeah.
That's awesome.
So
I didn't know we were doing that.
Keys we give out in stream, except for today's going to be a little different. Everybody that sent me a whisper and let me know what platform you want. In the past, they have sent me the keys of certain platforms, and I've just given them out immediately. This time, they're letting you choose. So I'm going to be giving them the information and, how many of which keys. So you're not getting your keys immediately this moment, folks. Do not worry. You will still be getting them, but they physically now have to give me, if I say, 4 people wanted PlayStation, 2 people wanted PC, whatever, they'll give me the keys to then send out. So we will get those to you. You are not forgotten winners. So be sure to send me that whisper if you are one of the winners. And I just want to say a major thank you to you, Noah, for coming and joining with us and telling us so much about the Battle Pass, getting us very excited. I'm very excited to jump into it. I just kind of glossed over it, but we all understand that my mind was not on gaming things for a while, and I'm excited to jump in. I know people who've done it already are going to be excited to finish up the third one. Sounds like there's some really cool rewards. I want that lion mount very much.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, of course, it was my pleasure. Thank you for having me on. It's always fun to talk about what I love and what I do. It's definitely a labor of love. I think players will really enjoy when they get to the end of the milestone 3 of Dragons and Influence. Without spoiling it, the final story quest you go on is pretty cool. And then when you play the repeatable, there are some surprises with the repeatable mission too. I recommend everyone who unlocks the final repeatable mission, when they complete the entire story, to play through that final repeatable mission more than once, because it's not the exact same experience. One of the things we've decided to do is to make this repeatable content more interesting for you. So every time you play it, things randomize and you get a different experience. So just want to call that out. But thank you for having me on. It's been great.
Awesome.
MJ. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. And all of you viewers who came here to support us, a part of keeping us going on MOP and, of course, OPTV, thank you so much. The subs, the sub gifting, amazing. This support is what keeps us going, and we are so thankful for all of you coming here and hanging out with us. Hopefully, you'll keep watching. As we said, we have D&D nights every Thursday, but there are streams every single day. You can check out the schedule right on the front page of massivelyop.com. Just hit end, bottom right-hand corner. You can also check it out on each stream post, like the one I linked, or right in the stream category, blink on it. It'll give you an entire listing of, I think, the next 7 streams. So usually we get just about a week or so, and you'll know what's streaming when. And if you follow our channel, Twitch is supposed to send you notification. For a long time, they didn't, so we don't know if that's working or not. but all sorts of ways to keep touch with us. And of course, read up on games, especially Neverwinter, on all the news that's coming out right there on masklyop.com. All right, everybody, that is it for today. Thank you so much. I hope you have a fantastic and amazing Friday. Not doing an evening stream tonight. I'm going to take a little rest break, but there will, of course, be more starting tomorrow and keep going. So hopefully I'll see everybody sometime soon. So have a great night, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks, everybody. Mahalo.